I made a video recently called How to Become Fearless, and the video strongly centers on a concept called anarchist calisthenics, which I was a little bit conflicted on at first. I was conflicted between centering on the phrase anarchist calisthenics, which I like, and it is a real phrase that people actually use, or activist calisthenics, which is not a real phrase and people do not use it, so neither did I. But for a moment, I was leaning in that direction. As I say in the video, anarchist calisthenics, as presented in Two Cheers for Anarchism, it puts the focus on breaking laws. Every day, break one unjust, trivial law to condition yourself, to remind yourself that just because something is codified into law does not make it sensical or protective or moral. Laws are human constructs, sometimes constructed by fucking assholes. But as I said, much of our hesitation before acting doesn't come from the law standing in our way. It comes from judgment or peer pressure, social norms standing in our way. So I was kind of thinking, like, what if I presented a different phrase? Activist calisthenics. Do something every day that makes your community a little safer. Do something proactive every day for your community. But let's be honest, the word activist has kind of a bad reputation these days. It kind of has for as long as I've been alive, actually. Which is a shame because we do need a word to describe taking brave, active leadership in shaping the world positively. And activism is like kind of the best we got right now. I did a little search for the term activist calisthenics and it is not a thing. But someone else had a similar idea. This blog post coined the term resistance calisthenics. And I like her version. It's very robust, very helpful. In her words, resistance calisthenics refers to small-scale acts of defiance that prepare individuals and groups for larger acts of resistance. This can include everyday subversion, small rule-breaking actions that challenge unjust power structures, like workers taking extra breaks, or students refusing to comply with oppressive school policies, or creating independent structures like mutual aid networks and study groups that resist dominant institutions, or skill building, practicing protest tactics and organizing strategies and building legal knowledge, and the everyday normalization of resistance, encouraging a cultural shift where non-compliance with oppressive systems becomes an expectation rather than an exception. All her words, not mine. If you watch my videos, you can see how much we overlap. You should definitely go read the post. She also gives some really great historical context. Yeah, go read. Go. What are you doing? Go. But this post also helped me realize that sometimes I get tired of the mental frame of resisting. We usually are speaking in the language of resistance and dissent. I mean, that's the word I literally use in the thumbnail. If you hear a bunch of crunching, it's because this little guy is walking on a field of pine cones, and every time I start talking is when he wants to start walking around. So, resist is basically the brand for every side of the American political dumpster fire. The don't tread on me crowd thinks that that's their thing. And meanwhile, resist kind of became the slogan for, like, anti-Trump wine moms and, like, brunch liberals. Complimentary. Anyone that Fox News hates may share my table. But maybe this is a me thing. I'm so much happier when I'm thinking in terms of building, not resisting. Braving forward towards something productive and unprecedented rather than continuously pushing society back up this muddy slope. It's just an exhausting frame of mind to be in all the time. And I can see people feeling the opposite way, like a good fight unifies people, it establishes the teams, anger can be super motivating. And like also, let's be real, we are in a fight against a real opponent. But God, like some days, I don't want to think like a fighter. I want to think like an explorer or an architect. Because I love my community, not just because I hate my enemies. I don't want to do everything against them. I want to do some of it for us. The reality, again, is that we need a little bit of both mindsets because, like, both are true. But persistent hate just spiritually exhausts me. This was an issue when I had my first one-on-one training on how to bring new people into our labor organization. They followed the AEIOU model of one-on-oneing, which is agitate, educate, inoculate, organize, unionize. And the agitate step really got to me. It was explained to me as, take this conversation somewhere emotionally fiery, find out what about their job makes them mad, mention the things that have happened recently in the company that everyone's pissed about. The status quo sucks, let's get angry about it, let's get fired up about changing it. And I would always think, like, I don't want my job in someone's day to be to make them more mad. That's not what I want to bring to them. Just roll up into their afternoon, they're working their job, we're on our lunch break, and my stated goal today is to make them feel angry. I'm putting my own spin on this. Again, you're not saying anything that isn't true. You're not tapping into feelings that aren't there. But, if I'm gonna bring people somewhere, I would like to find out how to bring them somewhere hopeful. I would like to do it with hope. I would just feel better knowing that my stated goal is to leave someone happier than I found them. Believing in the future more, not hating the present more. You know? As much as I hate to do this, the quote that keeps popping into my head is when Rose dies. She didn't die. Dies stupidly. She does not die. The end of The Last Jedi.
It's too late. Don't do this.
No! I won't let them win.
I saved you. That's how we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate. Saving what we love.
And while stupid,
What just happened?
I do agree with this sentiment. Hate is some fantastic motivation, and well-earned. But the way we really get out of this is by remembering that love is our primary motivating force. Sure, we do this because we hate Trump, and we hate billionaires. I mean, I literally have a shirt that says you should hate billionaires more, and I do, more and more every day. But I also do this because I love my neighbors, and I love myself, and I love future generations, and I love this planet. And often, I do experience that love as heartbreak due to how dire things feel. But the heartbreak comes because we love. I think it's okay to hit pause on the hate sometimes and recuperate and focus on all the reasons that we're doing this in the first place. So yeah, give yourself permission to think like a builder if that's what gives you motivation. How can you go out into the world and build something better?